This is Keisual, your casual podcast about G-fashion. A little disclaimer before we start. I have a new microphone, English is not my first language, and I don't promise to make videos for every podcast in the future. This is the first one, so this is a special occasion, I guess. Okay, enough of the self-hate. Let's see the actual stuff.
Should we elaborate on anything?
Wait.
We're new with podcasts, so
Yeah.
forgive us. Include that in the video.
Yeah.
Forgive us.
That's gonna be my intro.
Tim is also extremely nervous, and I'm not always good at talking.
Yeah. This is my first podcast, guys. I suck in English. We are idiots, but it's fine. We didn't sleep that much, but we are good.
Excuse me, are you calling me an idiot as well? Oh no.
Yes.
No. No.
That's the
I'm getting
rule.
glitter everywhere.
You can be my
What?
friend if you're not an idiot. That's the rule. My name is Tim, and I have a guest who likes bananas, as you can see. You may know her as Kawaii King Bee, and she's my friend, although we don't talk that much as we should, but
We talk a lot. We talk like almost every day. What are you talking about?
yeah. I don't know. What did you do today? Besides being late with this little video.
Well, it's still pretty early in the day, so I got up and then started getting ready for this. That's mainly what I've done today. I did cut my finger on a can of cat food, and that hurts a little. But that's probably really the only out of ordinary thing that's happened.
I can't send you anything to make you feel better, but hopefully this helps, and my lovely presence.
It does.
Okay. What should we know about you?
I love bananas.
Yeah.
That's my whole personality.
I see.
So like, you're welcome. So like, just fun facts or like J fashion related. What do you want to know?
Anything. Share with the world whole life, please.
Well,
like I don't know, lay down on the sofa, feel free to talk about anything. I'm your doctor, please talk about your childhood.
Tim, we created a list of questions. You can use that to ask to help you.
Yeah, right. So why are you into bananas? Please talk about this strange things in your life.
You think it's strange? Well, why are you into watermelon?
I don't know. Okay, I know it because it's red and green, and that's the color of my favorite ship. So I'm a weeaboo.
What is your favorite ship?
It's from Black Bottle, aka G. It's Grell and Will, and yeah, basically. That's awkward. Okay, end of video.
So I'll give you a serious answer. There actually is a reason that I like bananas. It's because, well, the origin is really just very random. I was with my friend in like elementary school, and I just told her one day like, "Oh, bananas are evil." And then that was like an inside joke that we had. And it was just the fruit. It wasn't, there was no other intention behind that other than just the fruit was evil and we didn't like to eat them. And so that's something that I kind of carried with me until high school. And then I met some other friends online and I told them that as well, like, oh, bananas are evil, and then they kind of went with it. And then we started kind of creating this lore behind it. And somehow I became the Banana King. I don't fully remember how. I think it could have just been another random declaration where it's like, okay, I'm the king of bananas. And that's been just another title that I've had forever. And I like to say that I have some kind of royalty complex. So I just like to call myself king or queen or princess or prince, tyrant, dictator, all of them. And yeah, so that's also where the King Bee comes from in my Instagram username. It's supposed to be like King Banana or Banana King. There's a whole lore to it. Like I have a whole story that's called the Banana King, and I'm hoping to write it eventually. But it's definitely like something that I take seriously, but I don't know how seriously the rest of the world would take it. It would probably seem pretty out there. But one day. That's my goal, one of my life goals. Write the story of the Banana King. It's like an alternate timeline or an alternate dimension, because in this dimension I'm the Banana King, but in that dimension there's a lot more of like fantasy elements.
How did you end up with this kawaii fashion?
Well, I work for Spokane's local anime convention, and there's a lot of staff members that are involved in kawaii fashion, particularly Decora. And I just kind of was very inspired by seeing them do it. And I kind of forgot about this, but even before joining this convention staff team, I had found the fashion several years ago and kind of based some original characters around it. And it was something that I was always interested in. But as you'll hear a lot of people say, for whatever reason, I felt like I couldn't do it because it was either too out there, or that I wasn't cute enough, or I was self-conscious about my weight, and just, all those reasons. But seeing them all do it was really inspiring, and I wanted to join, and it looked really fun. So I just bought a pastel wig and some items from Claire's and decided to do it and just start collecting things. And then it's just evolved from there, and it's something that I'm extremely passionate about now and want to learn and explore more of.
Yeah, I think it's hard for almost everyone to start it because it's just so colorful and extreme, and you have to buy a lot hair clips. But yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a misconception by other J-fashion enthusiasts that Decora is cheap. And I really don't know where that comes from, because it's not.
Me neither.
Yeah, because it's like you can buy branded clothing as well. Like 6% Doki Doki is one of the most well-known Decora brands, and it's designer. It's not cheap at all. But you can also do thrifting and, buy less expensive clothing and really some unique stuff. So there's definitely ways to do it on a budget. But I wouldn't say that Decora is cheap.
It's not.
I don't think any fashion that you get into is necessarily cheap.
Yeah, Well, we are lucky because it's like, I think, one of the easiest G fashion what you can pull off with anything because we have not many rules. You just have to be extra. So I read some blogs and stuff to get ready for our podcast. I read some places that they think is cheap, and yeah, well, I don't think so. I mean, okay, I'm poor, I'm in a poor country, okay, I know, but still, it's not like you can afford just that many jewelries. You have to buy a lot things.
In those blogs and such that you read, do they ever explain why they think Decora is cheap? 'Cause I'm kind of interested on where that idea comes from.
One person said because you can just go and buy things in Claire's, but Claire's is not cheap in my country. Even if it's considered cheap, you can just buy like one small package of hair clips. You need more, so you end up buying more and more and more, and you can't just really pull off a cord like with one go. You have to go more times and find more things.
Yeah, it can be a very like busy fashion style, and there's a lot of collecting to it, which I know can be a bit overwhelming for some people. Because it's like I like minimalism, so I've talked to one of my friends about this before, where it's kind of we like the minimalist lifestyle, but it's kind of we still end up collecting things, and we love Decora, but we just don't like owning it. Like owning the physical items, because it's a lot, and I spend a lot of time kind of cleaning it and trying to find ways to organize it, because it's just constantly growing. But that's also part of the fun of it, is figuring out how to organize it. But I'm also a Virgo, so I have a bit of a Virgo stereotype where I like to organize and pack things away and find ways to display it as well.
I watched a lot of videos about Decora collections, but I don't think that most of us have that many items, so I think we try to minimize the purchases. I don't know. I think we try our best.
Yeah, another thing about it is I do wear a lot of the same things, and I tend to have kind of go-to accessories. And that's another thing where there is a lot of collecting to Decora, but it's also because of the freedom with the style, you can reuse the same items and have a completely different look based on where you put them and how you style. So it's like you can have a hair bow that you wear in your hair, or you can attach it somewhere onto your clothing, or you can even put it on your shoes, which is something that I've done before. I just clip a hair bow to shoes. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming and like super collection based. It can just be, it's about freedom and creativity, I think. Which can be said about really all fashion styles, but I think there's a lot of freedom in Decora, and I really like that about it.
I wanted to ask, what do you think of our Decora and kawaii fashion community? Because a lot of G fashion community can be toxic. I just want to know, what do you think about it, because you have friends who you can meet with and they are into kawaii fashion, unlike me, so you probably could talk more about that.
I don't know. It's tough to say because I almost don't consider my Decora friend group a J fashion friend group. It's more of like my conventions group. We're all part of staff, so we kind of all have that linking us together. And I would say that that's probably a step above our J fashion. So it's kind of, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's kind of like that's what links us together. And then the fashion is just a bonus of being staff. And they all kind of, I would say, a lot of my friend group developed their styles together. So there's kind of similarities, and they're all very inspired by one another, and I'm inspired by them as well. So they definitely have like a very pastel vibe. So that's really cool to see, and I think that it's a really wonderful, healthy community, and I'm grateful for that. But outside of them, we do not really have a J fashion community in my city, which is a bummer. It seems like J fashion and Decora is really big in the States, probably because of Instagram, but it's still, it's not very well known. And I recently was watching some J fashion videos as well, and they said, I can't remember what video it was. If I did, I would credit it. But they had mentioned that in America and in the USA, it's kind of, J fashion is different than it is in Japan, because in Japan they wear it every day or like several times a week, whereas in the United States, and I'm sure, you know, in places like Hungary, that it's more of we wear it to conventions. And so I would like to have, you know, more alternate fashion in my day-to-day, but I work a lot, so it's kind of, I can't wear pastel wigs and a ton of hair accessories. I totally would if I could, and I've introduced more pastels and brighter colors into my everyday wardrobe. But there's definitely a different dynamic there, in that it's more of a convention thing versus just an everyday thing. You still don't see Japanese fashion enthusiasts walking on the streets in the States. And I hope one day we do. But because fashion is definitely evolving because of social media. You'll hear a lot of people mentioning that, and it's very interesting and exciting to see all the stuff that people are coming up with.
Yeah, but in Japan you can be full extra and it's okay, like in Harajuku, of course. But there's like the other side when they will look at you like, what the hell are you doing? So, but I know that in Japan they try to look perfect, even if they just go to shop or something. I don't know, doing just everyday errands. But yeah, I think it depends on where do you live. It's like a cultural thing. Well, in my country, not everywhere, but in the capital city it's okay to wear anything you want, but in any other cities they will call you out and make strange looks at you like, what are you wearing? So yeah, I was always extra, so I'm used to it. But if I go to the convention and go out like this to catch the train, even a police car was stopping and just slowing down, and they looked at me, and it was weird. So it happens. But yeah, I guess people are changing, and yeah, it's because of social media, and there's a lot of celebrities who are wearing very interesting things. So it's changing and evolving, and people are more, I don't know, kind to each other, and the new generation is even kinder than before. So I hope one day we can just go out like this.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's changing and it's improving. People are more accepting of it. Even though there isn't really a J fashion community here in Spokane, Washington, I definitely feel that people are very positive and receptive to when I go out in Decorah, or even if it's just really light alternative fashion, like just some bright clothing and a pastel wig. I haven't really had many negative interactions. It's been very positive. So I think that that's good. you're definitely more accepted in cities. And
Mm.
that usually goes for a lot of things. Like when I go to Los Angeles, people just don't really think much about it. So,
Yeah.
but it's like Los Angeles, so different communities. And
Mm.
just you see all kinds of things there.
The next question, what's here is, did you try any other alternative fashion styles?
Yes, I'm a big fan of a lot of yummy kawaii, so kind of like creepy or scary kawaii. I really want to try some Guro stuff, which is kind of a more like bloody style. Um, and also Menhera, but I know that because of the mental health situation and awareness that we're trying to move away from calling it that. So I'm not sure what the J fashion community has been trying to switch to. It might be something like
Mm.
medical K, but I really like that style as well. I think that it's very interesting. It definitely has a bad rap, and I understand that. It can be a very touchy topic.
Mm.
But the creator of Menhera did it or created it as kind of a social movement in Japan. So I think that it's beneficial for people to kind of research what it started as, and that it's a pretty positive movement, and it's meant to bring awareness, not to glorify it. So
Mm.
but I do think that that's something that people lose a bit of. They think that it's glorifying when it's just trying to bring awareness.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's a very unique style. So I think I've done one Menhera look. And it was like
Mm.
for Seattle's SakuraCon fashion show last year, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was very different from my usual like pastel or bright color Decora look. And then I want to try Visual K as well, because that would be fun. I definitely want to try more darker styles than just the pastels and bright Decora.
I made almost finished the presentation for the convention what got cancelled,
Yay.
and it was about decor fashion, but I intended to talk about more other kawaii and G fashions, and I was intended to mention Manhero and Yami Kawaii too, and I remember that I wrote it on that page for the Manhera to not glorify it, because I know how can people look at it, and I know a lot of people in Hungary who do it because they think it looks cool.
And there actually is a positive message in it, so I really encourage people to
Mm,
check that out and try to understand it.
I hope they
But it's
will.
not for everyone.
Yeah,
But that can be said about all J fashion.
yeah, you have to try it out, and if you feel it, it's good, but if you're not, then you just had a fun day. Or
Yes.
maybe not, looking at the selfies and you're like, oh my god, what did I do? Why? Well, it's okay. We are learning.
hmm Yeah, I definitely still consider myself to be just like a baby child of the deco. You know, I still have a lot of stuff to explore and learn. I definitely find my decor collection growing, but I still use the same kind of combinations. And I'm
Mm.
really trying to challenge myself to branch out with colors, like introducing more blue into my wardrobe. I think that I really underutilize blue. My automatic gravitation is towards red and pink. So I'm
Mm.
basically trying to get all the other colors to be more in my wardrobe, because it's just they're really great, and yeah, they should be utilized. And that's a really fun part about fashion as well, is kind of trying to break out of your
Wait,
comfort
wait,
zone.
wait. Sorry. My phone started to fall. Stay.
That's okay.
Oh my god.
Look at those nails.
Yeah. It's
Those
still
nails
green. It's still the St.
from
Patrick's
St.
Day.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That was a cute cord.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing that I really don't use in my wardrobe is green.
Mm.
I need more green.
I didn't have much green stuff before starting to evolve my watermelon cords. So it was weird at first because I don't really like green. So, but yeah, now I have enough to pull out full green color cords.
Did you notice that I'm wearing a
Yeah,
watermelon in honor of you?
I'm
In
looking at it
honor
all the
of him.
time.
Pay attention to me, Tim, not the watermelon. Jeez.
I'm trying. When I was small and in school, we made a stage performance, and my teacher told me that if I'm nervous, I can just look above the people and not stare in the eye. So consider it that. I'm just looking at the watermelon because I'm nervous.
Well, it's okay.
Are you working on any special chords for the near future?
I am. So, you briefly mentioned that you had a convention canceled. I've had a couple conventions canceled as well. I was working on an Alice in Wonderland theme chord. I was working on a TV head chord. And I was working on a Little Twin Stars kind of traditional Japanese fashion look. Maybe not traditional Japanese, but it's like there were a couple elements. So I've been working on 3 chords, and I don't know when I'm going to wear any of them now because of all the cons getting canceled, conventions getting canceled, I mean. But I'm probably most excited for the TV head one. I've kind of been keeping it quiet, but I have a TV now. Like, do you know what a TV head is? You've seen them before, right?
Yes, you and me are working on.
Are you working on one too?
Yeah, but it's the same problem here because of conventions got cancelled. We don't know if we can make it or not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we still can work on all our chords and just have them and take photo shoots. I mean, again, it's like we don't need a convention to do these things at, but I do like to save big project chords like this for conventions. But at the same time, I'd be down to just walk around in like downtown Spokane and take photos and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'm working on a TV head chord. His name is Angel, and it's really fun. I have just gutted the TV and that's it. I haven't painted it or anything. I've been kind of falling behind. The Little Twin Stars chord though is coming along, and then the Alice in Wonderland chord is kind of halted right now, but it's something that I've been working on or been wanting to do for I think a year now. So eventually it'll happen. And my friend's going to do like a Cheshire Cat look, and my other friend is going to do a Mad Hatter look. So we were going to be a trio. It'll happen eventually. Everything's just postponed. Nothing's canceled. There's actually, so in Seattle, Washington, there's a really big convention there called SakuraCon. That's one of the ones that got canceled, and I was going to go to in April. Yeah, in April. I forgot when it was for a moment. But it's something that the attendees have organized in place of SakuraCon was like having a SakuraCon online. So it's basically just an Instagram hashtag, and people are, I think they might have already started or they're going to the week of SakuraCon and just post their cosplay that they were working on under that hashtag, and it's just like another thing to do to support people and find people, maybe meet new friends. So I think that that's really great, and that's something that more convention attendees should organize, or even conventions themselves encourage people to do, to kind of have an online convention. Because that's another thing that exhibitors and artists have been doing as well, where they host a sale, since they weren't able to make a convention. And I think that those are really great ideas to kind of, make do with the situation and still kind of have something special and fun going on, and a way to support one another.
Mm.
So maybe you could organize that for your convention, is just make an announcement and say like, hey, use this hashtag and we can post our cosplay and
I
trade.
wish, but people here are not always supportive about these things.
They're not what?
They don't always welcoming with these kind of things, but I thought about like what if we could make some of the competitions online, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
That would
part
be
of
a
the
good idea.
organization, so I don't know.
I would say to contact them. I mean, it
Maybe.
doesn't hurt to make a suggestion. The worst that happens is that they just don't do it.
Hmm. Well, there's still time, but as far as I know, everyone stopped working on their cosplays, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, you just gotta try to be enthusiastic. Sometimes it just takes one person, and then enthusiasm. I don't want to say contagious, because that seems like a insensitive word to use right now with current events.
It's
But
alright.
uh, enthusiasm is impressionable. And if one person is enthusiastic, then, another person will be enthusiastic, and then it just goes from there. So I think that you can definitely try to start something. It never hurts. That's how things are started. It's just someone tries.
Well, I see. What can I do? We don't have much conventions in a year, so it's really a bummer that our biggest convention get cancelled.
Hmm. Yeah, because you don't have a lot of conventions and activities, though, I think that that's why it's so important to try to see what you can do online, and like start a hashtag on Instagram and Facebook, and so things can be done. There are ideas. And so if you need inspiration, you can always like look and research what other conventions are doing to kind of boost morale during these quarantine times,
Mm.
because there's a lot of good things happening. Even before going into quarantine, I was really starting to feel overworked. And I'm an extroverted introvert, so I do like to, do extroverted things and go out and talk to people and meet new people. But I have a limit, and I have been far past that limit for a really long time, and was just so exhausted, and was planning on taking some time off from work, and it just ended up kind of happening sooner than later. It's not the greatest financially, because I am not being compensated based on my position for the corporation that I work for, and I was denied unemployment. So financial wise, not the greatest, but again, I was working a lot of hours up until then. So I do have savings to kind of live off of for right now, and to even buy some just fun things. And there, it'll be over eventually, and things will come back. But I do appreciate this kind of introvert charging time, and there's just, it's weird because I've actually just been having a lot of fun during this time, because there's all these projects that I can do, and like filming stuff, like doing this podcast with you, and filming some YouTube videos with my other friend, and yeah, working on a lot of personal projects, and cleaning. I'm so excited to be cleaning now. My spaces were all so messy, and I'm working on getting them organized.
Hmm.
I wanted to have a nicer background for this podcast, but I didn't get to that point, so I just threw some cute pig plushies back there
It's
as
fine.
a temporary background.
Like I have any fancy thing. It's just a blanket.
It's your dungeon.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tim's Dungeon. That can be your podcast name.
Um,
Tim,
I'm not
Tim's
sure.
Dungeon.
Is it appropriate for this?
I like that name. I would tune into that podcast. Tim's Dungeon. Timothy's Dungeon. C.T.Grell's Dungeon. Watermelon Senpai's Dungeon. The Watermelon Dungeon.
It's getting worse.
Watermelon Dungeon podcasts. That's it. That's the name. Watermelon Podcasts Dungeon. Wait, no. Watermelon Dungeon Podcasts. That's your name. I helped you figure out your name from the podcast. You're welcome.
Okay.
And that's the end. Thanks for tuning in.
Dear listeners, please make some interesting fan arts of this. Like, how does a watermelon dungeon look like? How?
Tim, you should design that. Now that you have some free time, design it. Watermelon Dungeon. You can also ask on Instagram, what does a watermelon dungeon look like? And then in your next response, you can read your favorite answers. I mean, in your next podcast, you can read your favorite answers. Like, so-and-so said a watermelon dungeon looks like.
What a great content.
Exactly. I think it is. Okay, so what other questions are there? This is premium content.
Actually, all questions was answered, so I don't know.
So do you have any projects that you're working on while we're on quarantine? Anything new going on now that you have free time? Extra free time?
Well, I had plenty of free time because I'm unemployed for a year now, so I'm not happy about this current situation, but I don't know, I'm having a break because I don't know when will be the next convention. Maybe I should work on my next watermelon project, but I wanted to make my own outfit, but it turned out that the fabric what I bought was too thin, and I don't have another fabric to make it double layered now, so I can't work on that. I'm stuck. I worked on my Yihake look and it was almost finished, but since I don't know when will I be able to wear it on a convention, now it's just laying on my bed and I'm just staring at it and sometimes cry just looking at it, and I worked on you for a year.
Well, just remember that this will pass.
Yeah.
Wear it again. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I look up what national days are coming, like I don't know if I found anything like food based because I like to make food themes. I don't know if I find anything funny, I will do it. Like a few weeks or months ago, I did the sticker day, so if I find anything,
I know,
I
I
will do
was so
it.
bummed I missed out on that.
It's okay.
I was going to do it, and I always forget, and I feel like it's just shame now that I'm into Decora and I don't participate in sticker days.
We will find other fun things.
But anyway, do you have anything else to ask?
I guess no after this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this gonna be a really long video, so yeah.
Well, remember to just edit the stuff out because
Mm,
some of it definitely can be edited out. But podcasts are long,
mm,
so hopefully we got good content
I
and
hope
everything
so.
makes sense. But anyway, I'm gonna head out now before it gets too snowy. So it
You
was good
should.
talking to you, and this was fun. And I hope that you got some good content.
Mm,
And that the more that you do this, you won't be as nervous. So that's good.
mm. Let's hope. Let's hope I can evolve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What is
yeah.
happening?
We're all cheering you on. Yay! Go Tim. Go Tim. The best Gemini, the watermelon and typo king. We believe in you.
Oh god. Someone save me.
That's how you can end it.
Yes, save me.
Bye. Even our goodbye is awkward. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening through the whole podcast, unless you cheated and skipped some part. Then shame on you. Go back and listen to the whole podcast. I can see if you skipped something, I guess. Anyways, thank you for coming here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out my guest Instagram, the link is in the description. And if you have any questions or suggestions, or maybe some questions for future podcasts that I should ask from my guest, please leave a comment down below. If you know someone I should interview next, please also make a comment or write on me on Instagram. You can suggest yourself as well. I don't bite.
I can't tell if it's good because I don't have my glasses on.
It's alright. Wait, that's the other side. Hold on. No, back.
Here,
It's
I want to take
mirrored.
a picture of what this looks like on my screen.
Wait,
See.
that's gonna be a potato, not a heart.
What? What?
It's gonna be a potato and not a heart. I'm trying my best.
Here,
Okay.
can we do this side as well, or can you not reach that side? I don't think you can, yeah. It has to
Maybe.
be this side, right?
Wait, I try to do it
I
with
don't know
my
if
other
that'll
hand,
make
but
any difference.
maybe. Ooh, wait. Huh? Maybe.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a heart. I don't. How do people do this? This is
Oh
hard.
no, our hand's not working like that.
Wait. Get back
Yeah.
over there.
Oh, Jesus. It's hard because my camera is mirrored. Wait, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Here, I wanna send you a picture of what that looks like on my screen.
Okay.
Let me see. I wonder if that was the right one. Um, No, I don't think either of the photos work. So the first one, here, go look in Messenger. That's what it looks like on my screen.
Wait a second. Wow.
So we're actually making a heart on your screen, right?
Yeah. I think I can probably find just a tiny second when it was perfect.